Hey, this is Tara Sloan, and I am so happy to be back on Toronto Mic'd.
What up, Mike? Toronto. VK on the beat. Check. I'm in Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm from Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm in Toronto like we wanna get the city love. My city love me back for my city love. I'm in Toronto.
Welcome to episode 1844 of Toronto Mic'd, an award-winning podcast proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery. Order online at greatlakesbeer.com for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. Visit palmapasta.com for more. Fusion Corp's own Nick Iones. He's the host of Building Toronto Skyline and Building Success, two podcasts that you ought to listen to. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. And Ridley Funeral Home. Pillars of the community since 1921. Joining me today, making her return to Toronto Mic'd, it's Tara Slone. Welcome back, Tara.
Hey, thank you for having me. And I'm sorry I'm not there in person.
Right, because when I woke up this morning, the plan was you were going to be visiting me in the TMDS basement studio, but Mother Nature kind of threw a wrench into those plans.
It's been that kind of winter here in Toronto. So yeah, we are destined to be across the city from one another today.
Well, you know it won't be as fun this way, right?
No, of course. I understand.
And, Tara, you don't get the swag. Like, I can't, via Zoom, I can't give you the Palma Pasta lasagna. That's literally in my freezer right now.
Oh, that's like such a good comfort food for today, especially.
All right, I'll bike it over later.
Don't do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, I'll be doing something like that because I'm not sensible like you are. But I also would just like to let you know what else you're missing, which is you're missing a measuring tape from Ridley Funeral Home. So
That'd be nice. Yeah. I love me a measuring tape.
I'll bike that over as well. And of course, fresh craft beer from Great Lakes Brewery. So all the swag is yours. So next time we book your Toronto Mic'd appearance, we'll pick like a month where we don't get the cold and the wind and the snow, because I really love doing this in person.
Yeah, no, you can't replicate that. But anyway, we will, next time, please, the summer. Let's do that.
I have a lot of ground I want to cover with you. I want to remind the listenership of your previous visits to the studio. And there's some breaking news. I got some audio regarding, but I just want to check in with you off the top. Please tell us, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm busy. I am exhausted by this winter. I think like most Torontonians, just kind of over it. So, luckily I do get to leave now and then to experience a little bit of sunshine and warmth, but it's been a little while, and I'm not back in California until the end of February. So
how often, because I do want an update on your your livelihood, your work, and I know that includes work with the San Jose Sharks, but how often do you go to California for that work?
It works out to be about once a month. This is a little bit of a longer stretch because their schedule and the Olympics combined meant that, I've been home for a little bit. But yeah, I do 20 home games. So I'll go down for a week, do a few games, do a few other things, and come back. So it's a bit of a commute, but it's not the worst place to go. That's for sure.
No, and you used to live there, right?
I lived there for 2 years, which is how I became connected with the Sharks. And yeah, they were incredibly generous in, wanting this relationship to continue, even though I moved back to Toronto. And so I have the best of both worlds.
And how's it going for you now that you're back in Toronto?
I'm really grateful to be back. I mean, politics aside, my daughter's dad is here. So that was really the deciding factor. She has the opportunity to be with both of her parents. We're split up, but we're very good friends, and so it was a no brainer, right? Just why would I keep them apart?
No, I mean, you're preaching to the converted over here. I totally get that. And it's pretty cool that even though you left California to come back to Toronto, that the Sharks said, hey, we still want a slice of that Tara Sloan pie.
Yes, no, I feel really grateful. It's been such a delight. That organization is a great one. And the team is becoming a really exciting team to be a part of as well. So, yeah, I think it was a real relief for me when they hired me. They created jobs that didn't exist before. I do rinkside reporting for NBC. They didn't have somebody doing that. And I do content for the Sharks, and they really celebrate me for who I am and the kind of work that I do in the hockey space, and that's really nice.
Well, listen, we celebrate you for who you are, what you do. Come on, you're a valued FOTM. But you mentioned that the Sharks are kind of exciting. So this is not a hockey podcast. We're not going to do any hockey talk. If people want hockey talk, I think there's like 4,000 podcasts they can go listen to dive in deep. But I do want to just because, the opening ceremonies in Italy are today.
Hmm.
And I'm going to say this, I like to watch all the disciplines in the Olympics. Like I'll watch sports I'd never watch outside the Olympics, but one sport I do watch outside the Olympics that I'm very excited to watch in the Olympics is hockey.
Hmm.
And I just want to mention a name of a guy you know and you cover, but MacLean Celebrini is the youngest member of Team Canada. It's kind of amazing he's on the team. First overall pick, I think it was 2024. So I just wondered, what's it like to have hope? I feel like we had this a decade ago, and now we don't have
Yeah.
it, and you have it. But what's that like to have a guy like Macklin Celebrini?
Well, I think people throw around the term generational player maybe a little bit too easily, but I think in Macklin's case, it's true. He's in his second year in the league. He's proven himself to be an elite and complete player. He's 19 years old. He's still a teenager, and the things he does on the ice are incomprehensible to most. And so, it's yes, in one sense, it's remarkable he's on the team, but on the other hand, there's no way they could have ignored him. I mean, he's just, he's up there in the scoring race with Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon and Nikita Kucherov. Like this is the company that this teenager is keeping. So I am so excited to watch him play best on best. We know Sidney Crosby loves him, so we'll see if he ends up on a line with Sid. It's really cool.
No, it's so damn cool. Like I'm excited to see Macklin Celebrini and the whole team. And I just love, he made the team, and you mentioned you can't ignore those results. But I feel like of a team this deep, you could, do that because it's such a deep team that we had a couple of injuries, and then the guys they say, okay, we're sending to Italy to fill in these spots. It's like, okay, Seth Jarvis and Sam Bennett. It's like we're so deep that the replacements are kick ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the replacements are guys that people felt like were
Yeah.
snubs, big snubs.
Well, players who won
They
that Four Nations thing just a year ago. So those are
right,
your replacements. So it's celebrating.
exactly.
It's no small feat, even at that age, to make Team Canada. So, must be exciting to cover a team where it's like the future's bright. Where my team, we were where you were, when the guys were
Hmm.
younger, Austin
Hmm.
Matthews and Mitch Marner, and now we're sort of like, oh, we're gonna have to go through some crap. I can swear it's my show. We have to go through some shit to come out clean on
Yeah.
the other side. But you're now going to the good times.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's looking like, and the good times are happening even more quickly than anybody thought. I don't think anybody thought we'd be in this, sitting just outside a playoff position this year. It's I mean it's night and day. Last year we saw the glimmers of hope. There was hope, but there was still um the trade deadline was like bloodshed. It was,
Yeah.
they're very much still rebuilding, and now the practices are full. We
Oh.
the scrums are big. The arena is loud. It's sort of harkens back to what I hear about the old days at the tank. So it's just, I mean, obviously the energy and the mood is just so much better.
Well, eat your heart out, Elliot Friedman. This is now a hockey podcast. I'm calling it. Okay, there we go. That was our hockey talk. But MacLean Celebrini, somebody to watch in Italy over the next couple of weeks here. Now, there's breaking news. I'm going to play like a 45-second clip, and then we're going to talk about it on the other side. So here we go, Tara.
Here comes the 3-2. He got him! For the first time in 32 years, the Toronto Blue Jays are going to the World Series. What a performance by Jeff Hoffman in the ninth.
What a season for the Blue Jays. Hoffman was outstanding. After 2 innings last night, he came in and slammed the door. He struck out the side. This is a season to remember.
I can't do a Buck Martinez, but
No, he's got a very unique voice.
it's like a little mumbly, but like in a charming kind of way, I'd say. Now, did you hear the breaking news?
No.
Okay, so Buck Martinez has retired.
Oh. Oh, well,
Breaking
congrats,
news
Buck.
for you. You have to process that in real time. I'm sorry for.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I mean, I feel like there's been a lot of hints to that end. So, congratulations, Buck, going out on a tremendous note, and what a career.
Great note, but it was like this close to
I
being
know.
the perfect note, right?
Right. But it was pretty good. I mean, yes.
Why don't? Yeah. I can't believe. Here, now I'm going to become a Blue Jay. So move over, Wilner. Okay, Mike Wilner, I'm coming for you now, brother. But like, I just cannot. When I look back, I don't know if are you a Jays fan?
Yeah, I'm not I mean, it's not the sport I follow the most, but yes, I'm a fair weather. I'm a fair weather
Oh,
band.
that was fair weather we had in October. So I skipped the regular season, and then I got totally pulled into this likable, amazing, surprising team, and I can't believe how close we came to our third World Series. That's as close as you can get without actually winning the World Series.
Yeah, and yes, it was heartbreaking for sure. And it felt like they really could have done it. It's not like they got blown out of the water by any stretch. So
So
yeah,
no more
I'm
Buck.
definitely a fan. No more Buck. Interesting.
And I feel like, because I was here in Toronto for when he played for the Blue Jays following that team. So he played for like 6 years or so. Then there's a little gap, but pretty quickly he comes back for TSN with Dan Schulman when Dan Schulman was recruited to TSN from it was 590, the Fan 590. And like, other than when he managed for a bit, he's kind of been there ever since. So, I mean, if you're a Blue Jays fan of a certain vintage like I am, Buck's really always been there. So it's going to be kind of sad to have a season with no Buck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the sound of the Blue Jays. But the torch has to be passed. So, yeah, I'm sure it'll be nice for him. That's a long season,
Hey, did you ever
especially
meet
when
him?
there's a postseason.
Oh yeah,
I've met him, but not in a meaningful way.
you didn't get to exchange mumbles with the man.
Probably. Hello.
Oh.
Hello?
Carl, nice to see you. Watch hometown hockey. Okay, because you were colleagues. Like, I don't know if you guys had Christmas parties or whatever at the Rogers Empire, but
There were probably a couple years where there were holiday parties, but no, we didn't commingle so much with with these opposite season sports.
right, these are very different. And he doesn't live here, so okay. So
Right.
let me. I do have more audio for you and other topics, of course. But can you give us a thorough update on anything else you're up to? Like, I hear you're doing some curling stuff, and there was something with Rockstar in Excess. Like, I just need the full Tara Sloan professional update.
Okay, so we've already covered the San Jose Sharks. I also work for SiriusXM. I have a weekly women's show called No Filter, which I really enjoy. I get to talk to amazing women. So it's been an absolute lovely experience. I also host a show on SiriusXM called No Offense But, which is sort of a pop culture panel show where we just take kind of dilemmas from Am I the Asshole on Reddit and that kind of stuff, right? Agony aunt kind of problems. And we have a really a bunch of really fun people come in and we talk about it. So that's Sirius XM. I did start doing some work with the Grand Slam of Curling on rockchannel.com. So part of their streaming uh, commentary group, which is actually super interesting because I don't really know very much about curling. But my job has been to be the I would say the curious curling newbie, the person who prompts the curling experts to maybe just break things down in plain English a little more.
Yeah, you're like
Because
a proxy. Yeah, I get
if
it.
you don't, yeah, if you don't speak curling, sometimes they get pretty technical, and I don't understand. So you kind of assume there's a chunk of the audience that doesn't. So that's been really fun. Um, Rockstar in Excess, the show that I did now 21 years ago, 2005. We did a couple of reunion shows, and we're hoping to maybe plot a few more. Doing some writing with my old band Joydrop, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Okay, you can't just drop the Joydrop gem there at the end there, but like, is there possibly there's a new Joydrop album in the works?
I feel like at the rate we're going, an album would take 10 years.
Yeah.
But you don't need to do an album anymore. So I think for sure, I mean, there are songs that have been written. So I would say at least a few.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. And it's just, it's rewarding to be creative that way.
Joydrop, great fucking band. Later, I was gonna because I want to start with a different band because I had a plan, but you were supposed to be sitting right here, Tara. But I have a plan.
Aw,
But
so much better.
I mean, the Joydrop stuff sounds great even today when I listen to old Joydrop, and I'm talking even beyond. Like, I mean, there's two huge radio singles. Okay, so there's two songs that were played all over in new rock stations, like I was listening to at the time. But beyond that, I mean, I think the Joydrop stuff is fantastic.
I thank you. I think so too. I mean, it's rare that I'll sit down and listen to an album top to bottom, but um
Right.
yeah, I'm really, really proud of what we did. I mean, good songs stand the test of time. So I'm really proud of everything we did, and I am especially excited when people remember us. And I've had some, there's been some really nice stories of people saying, "Hey, like I met you at this place when I was 17 and I was having such a hard time, and you meant so much to me." And that's what it's all about, really.
Okay, so there's going to be more of you singing later, but a different FOTM is going to sing now. You ready to listen to something, and then we're going to talk about it?
Yeah.
She was underwhelmed, if that's a word. I know it's not, cause I looked it up. That's one of the skills that I learned in my school. I was overwhelmed, and I'm sure of that one, cause I learned it back in grade school when I was young. She said you was funny, I said that you were funny. She said thank you, and I said no.
The mix is so much easier in person. But please, Tara, tell the listenership what we're listening to.
That is Underwhelmed by Sloan. All I needed to hear was that drone at the beginning, and I knew exactly what was coming.
Me too.
Sloan, Sloan. They have made my life incredibly difficult over the past, 30 years.
Right.
Because my name is Slone, which nobody spells correctly.
Even an expert like myself has to think for a few seconds on how to spell Tara Sloan's last name.
I know. It's an unusual spelling, but I think Sloan, the band, made it worse. So thanks, guys.
So, reminder to the listenership, you're not a Toronto girl.
I did live here a couple of times in my early life, but no, Halifax and Nova Scotia is where I call home. And so I was around during the Sloan years, and in fact worked at Sam the Record Man with Jay Ferguson, and knew all those guys from around, and watched the whole explosion. And I mean, I love them so much. I love them as people, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Well, as you can imagine, I have follow-up questions, Tara Sloan. So,
Okay.
what year would you say it was when you were working with Jay Ferguson at Sam the Record Man in Halifax, Nova Scotia?
So it would have been, it was more than I'm, okay, so I started there when I was in 10th grade. So,
Yeah, it's worth noting those guys are older than you.
yes. Yeah,
Because you're my age, and I think of them as like older guys. Okay.
Yeah, I was a part-time, I mean, it was my high school job.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess it would have been 88, 89 kind of thing.
Okay, so work with me here, Tara. We're doing important work here. You know I cover the Canadian alt-rock scene very closely. This is my whole purpose in life, I'd say. Okay, so you and Jay Ferguson were friends?
Yeah, I mean, as much as he wanted to be friends with like a 15-year-old girl.
But he's a nice
Like,
guy. Like, he's one of the nicest
he's so
people.
nice.
Right.
Yes, so nice.
He would be very nice to you, and
Oh, yeah.
he's your colleague at Sam the Record Man in Halifax?
Yes, yeah, super nice. And we did, I mean, there's a camaraderie that happens when you're working at that kind of place, but it's not like we're like, he's like calling me. But yes, I know him, and I like him very
You're so
much.
nervous you're going to make it sound like you were BFFs, and then I'm going to be talking to Jay one day, and he's going,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, we worked together, but we weren't going out for, coffee or whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was a teenager.
You can have coffee as a teenager.
I did. I drank a lot of coffee as a teenager.
See, I actually, in real time, I was going to say go out for a beer, and I actually changed it to coffee in real time because you were only 15.
I did, however, and I mean, I feel like the statute of limitations has passed. I did have I think I had the sort of protection of the Sam's group. So we would often all go out to the Seahorse for beer.
Scandalous.
Scandalous, yes.
Okay. That's the real talk I'm looking for here. So in the background, I don't even know if via Zoom you can hear it, but in the background, I still have Underwhelmed going, and my heart rate's going up because it's the first Sloan song I ever heard. I heard it on CFNY 102.1, and I guess about the year it was released, whatever that was, 91 or I can't remember now, early 90s.
Yeah.
But it's still, and this is I'm looking like if there's a German word for this, when the first song you hear from a band stays your favorite song from that band, even though they put out extraordinary material subsequently. Like, there's so many bands where the first song I heard is my favorite, and I wonder, is it my favorite? It's probably my favorite because it's the gateway to that band. It was the one I loved first.
I would say, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that theory holds true always, but for me, that's my favorite Sloan song too.
Yeah.
But I also think it was like more representative. It wasn't just about the first song you heard from that band. It was like that band represented a movement, right? That was sort of simultaneous with the grunge movement out of Seattle, that there was this crazy Halifax thing that was happening. And so I don't know, for me, it's very much of an era. And so there's a lot more nostalgia that accompanies it.
I'll cross promote the fact there is an episode in the Toronto Mic'd archive that is simply an episode about Underwhelmed. So I've had all four members of Sloan over, and this is a Chris Murphy song. So Chris Murphy, he wrote it, he sings on it, and he brought this to, Smeared was the first album. What a great album that was. Holy smokes. You're right, we had our own like little grunge scene going on in your hometown there.
Yeah, it was wild. It was like all these bands were getting signed to Sub Pop and stuff, and they were on Geffen, I think. And
because Twice Removed came out on Geffen.
Yeah. So it was a funny moment. And it wasn't just Halifax, too. It was like Eric's Trip out of New Brunswick. And, there was just like this marriage jail out of Halifax.
Yeah.
So there was just really cool, like, maritime.
Super Friends?
Super Friends, yeah.
Did you say Thrush? You said Thrush Hermit, right? No,
I didn't, but I should have. God. Yes. Thrush Hermit, of course.
And even back then, am I right? Sarah McLachlan's there still?
She was already gone.
Oh.
She'd already left Nova Scotia.
Okay.
And I wonder about her relationship with Nova Scotia because she doesn't talk about it very much.
No, she's sort of, if you weren't savvy like us, Tara, you would think she was a Vancouver gal.
Right, but she did. She went to Queen Elizabeth High School, which is the school that I went to. But she's, I think, 3 or 4 years older than me, so we weren't there at the same time. But yeah, she doesn't really. I don't know. I feel like she doesn't identify as like a real Haligonian.
But I used to be really into, back then I would be into like East Coast Music Awards and stuff. And she was all over that. So that's how I knew she was like a Maritimer.
Well, I don't know if I ever meet her. I've never met her.
You know,
If
I
meet
haven't
her, I'm
either.
gonna-
Can,
I'm
can
gonna-
we fix that? Like, what if all three of us got together for a coffee or something?
I think that we can talk about if she has any issues with
Yeah.
Halifax.
Like, let's just have an intervention. Like, what is your
Yeah.
problem? Why are you ashamed to be a Maritimer?
You should never be.
No, the nicest people. Okay. Oh, yeah. So I'm going somewhere here. I know I went on a little tangent here, but I love talking about Sloan. So all four members have been in the basement. I've had like deep dives with each of them. And, you know, I'll often ask them about this name, Sloan. Okay. And they kind of always have this look on their face like, oh, there's this, like, they have to print the legend. Like, I always sense this. This is all speculation on my part. But they tell it, some buddy of theirs they called Slow One.
Right.
then-
That's always the story I heard.
And I'm here to tell you I don't believe that story. I'm here to tell you, and then you could react to this, but I'm going to say definitively on the record, this episode of Toronto Mike, I'm saying it out loud. I believe the band name Sloan was a reference to Tara Sloan from Sam the Record Man in Halifax. They just changed the spelling.
That's ridiculous. No.
Tell me
Not
why it's
she-
ridiculous.
Why? Because they didn't know who, like, I feel like, I don't know if the band existed before I knew Jay, but I cannot imagine. I just cannot imagine that I played enough of a role in in their existence to that they took the name. I mean, who knows? Maybe they just heard it and they like it. But yes, I always heard Slow One.
Yes, but I believe that is printing the legend the way we say, the way we talk about Neil Peart saying the word subdivisions in the Rush song. Like,
Right.
we print the legend. We all know that's a sample of Mark Daly on City News, but that's a Chum City property. It's cleaner to just say it was the drummer. But I feel like it's easier and cleaner to say this is because of a buddy they called Slow One instead of saying, oh, well, there was this cute young woman who worked at Sam the Record Man who had the last name Sloan, and we liked how it sounded, so we changed the spelling.
Have you ever asked them that?
So, okay, so let me tell you a little. So I have, they had a new album out. I'm looking at it right now, actually, based on the bestseller. There's vinyl in my studio that you could see if you were here, Tara. So next time you can see it. But I had Jay and Chris over to talk about that album. And then I met you at a JD Tragically Hip event. Do you remember this?
Yes, of course.
I know. I guess I just telling the
Wasn't that long
listenership.
ago.
So it wasn't that long ago. Do you have a good memory, Tara Sloan? Okay, so
No, I mean, I am a 52-year-old woman, but that I remember. Big stuff I remember.
you're
I
the
just don't know
second
where to put my
52-year-old
memory.
woman I've had on Toronto Mike in a row, because I always say, because I'm born in 74. I know you're 73, but I just had a woman named Michelle Crystal on who was also born in 73.
And did she talk about also like forgetting things like, putting milk in the cupboard instead of the fridge?
No, but ready for this? She met. So the reason I had her on is she's the widow of a broadcaster who's no longer with us, sadly, but his name was Andrew Crystal, and she met and fell in love with Andrew Crystal in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Always comes down to Halifax, doesn't it?
It's a mind blow. Okay, so is it plausible? Because I will at some point ask this question of Jay Ferguson. So I don't believe Jay can tell a lie. So
I dare you. I mean,
I will.
he will laugh. He will laugh and say no.
But will you at
anyway.
least say it's plausible? It's possible.
Listen, I don't know the Sloan name timeline, but sure, it's plausible. I mean, I definitely know that I existed before.
But Jay knew
Sloan
you
did.
existed before the band got the name Sloan.
See, that I don't know.
Well, if your timeline, if you're accurate about, okay, well, these are questions for Jay Ferguson and Chris Murphy, and
Yes, well, I look forward to the answers.
but I did want to bring it up with you because I think it's a fascinating little can rock nugget if that ends up to be true. And I believe it could be true that Sloan took the name Sloan because Jay was working at Sound the Record Man with Tara Sloan. So I'm going to leave it with me to talk to the Sloan guys, and then I'll report back to you.
Okay, I have one thing to add to that I did notice in the video for the other man.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't remember it exactly. I think it's in a school or something. Anyway, there's some sheet of paper, maybe it's like on a door or something, that says Sloan, but it's Slone. And the only person, there's no other, I mean, other than my family, it's because it's an abbreviation. My name is, it would have been Tara Slonemski back in, 100 years ago.
I'm glad you're sharing this with me. This is a huge clue. And I will just remind you that song, that's a Jay Ferguson song.
No, it's not. Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a Chris Murphy song.
Oh, I thought it was a Jay. Okay, well, I'm going to have to search that one if I don't sound like an idiot here. Because in my mind, I'm hearing it in my mind, and it's Jay Ferguson singing it. Man.
I feel like it's Chris. I think it's Chris.
Oh.
But anyway, look, go watch the video. There is Slone, and I've never seen anybody else spell it that way.
Okay, it is you're right. I shouldn't question a maritimer on anything to do with Sloan history. That is a Chris Murphy song, but okay, my apologies to the entire Sloan organization. Apparently inspired by Chris Murphy's relationship with another Canadian rocker. Do you want to guess who?
Not me. There's just I'm not at the center of everything Sloan.
No, but I did say another Canadian rocker, so definitely not you. But
Leslie Feist.
Correct.
Yes.
Good for you.
See, Sloan trivia.
Okay, that's all I'm not even recording this. I just wanted to do Sloan trivia with you. So, okay. So I will speak to the Sloan guys about you being the inspiration for the band name Sloan. Quickly, I'm going to tell the listenership about your two other visits, which were actual physical visits to this basement studio. And next visit will be in person as well, Tara. So, I'll pick a better month than February.
Yeah. Yes.
April 2018. That's a long time ago now.
Ooh, that is a long time ago.
Episode 322, and I wrote this description at the time. Mike chats with Tara Sloan about her years with Joydrop, her experience on Rockstar in Excess, co-hosting Rogers, I'm all choked up thinking about it, co-hosting Rogers Hometown Hockey with Ron MacLean, and more. We had a great chat in April 2018, but you actually came back in November 2022 with Terry Hart.
That is correct. Who I just had dinner with 2 nights ago.
How's Terry doing? I know she's got a new podcast
she's
too.
Good. Yeah. She's really passionate about it. It sounds like amazing and necessary. It's about caregiving, which is a really big topic, amongst our generation right now. So she's good. But yes, that was also a pleasure.
And that was November 2022. That was episode 1156, and we chatted about. Basically, we caught up what's new in your lives. We talked about why you were no longer on Sportsnet. So if people are looking for that action, that's from episode 1156. We also talked about why Terry was no longer on breakfast television. Look at all that tea that was spilled in that episode. We talked about Don Cherry. We talked about Twitter. We talked about John Derringer, because Terry Hart would have worked with John Derringer. Joydrop and more. How do you not talk about Joydrop? So people can go back and hear some more Tara Sloan. Okay, quick question, only because I was curious about your IMDb credits, just because you have done a little bit here and there. But I just want to ask you about an episode of a show you appeared in, because I had Jeremy Hotz over here. Do you know Jeremy Hotz?
I know who he is.
That's good enough for me. So we came on and we had a pretty good chat about Ken Finkelman's The Newsroom.
Right. Oh, wow.
Did you have a credit as appearing in an episode of this show?
I appeared in a few. I had I was in, I think, two or three episodes. Yeah. Well, that was a long time ago.
No, it's a very long time ago in the Newsroom, but I thoroughly enjoyed that show. And I don't, obviously I haven't watched it in a while, so I wouldn't be able to say, I remember seeing Tara Sloan on that. And I said, that's the woman that Sloan named their band after. But is it just that you were an aspiring actress and you auditioned? I'm just curious how you ended up in Ken Finkelman's The Newsroom.
Yeah, it's funny. This is sort of a chapter of my life that I skip a little bit because it's the one that didn't quite hit, I suppose,
Right.
or more Joydrop took over. Um, I went to theater school at Concordia in Montreal, and and I mean, music was always my love through my whole life. I had a band in Montreal as well. When I moved to Toronto in 1996, it was really to do work in TV and film. So that's sort of what I did for the first while I was here. And at the same time was looking for people to play music with, not with the aspiration of being a professional touring musician. I just wanted to meet people to play with. Um, so I did some funny stuff. I did Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. I did the Newsroom. I did a Heart to Heart for that really dates me, but a Heart to Heart movie of the week with Stephanie Powers and Robert Wagner, like
Oh.
old school stuff. And then but nothing. I didn't have any like massive roles. I was in La Femme Nikita, but then Joydrop took off, so that kind of just that part went away, and I didn't really miss it. I mean, I actually don't think I'm the greatest actress. That's a weird thing to say, but I think I'm okay, but I don't think it's like I think I'm a better singer than I am an actor.
Well, I was going to say, if we're keeping score at home, Tara, okay, so you're a great singer. You're a great, I guess, what's the term? Like, I guess a broadcaster, but like host of things. Like, you're a great, great host of things.
Broadcaster, yeah.
Yeah. I would consider you a member of our sports media.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of related to broadcasting. Like, I guess what I'm saying is you can't be like amazing at everything. Right?
No, I mean, most people aren't. I did end up, it was through Hometown Hockey, actually. I ended up on an episode of Hudson and Rex in, I guess, I don't know, maybe 2019 or something. And that was, Hometown Hockey was coming to Newfoundland, and it was this nice little cross promotional thing that we did with the show. So I actually had a real role on it, which was fun. So that's the last time I did any meaningful acting.
There's great controversy surrounding that show.
I've been reading. It's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, so there's a new Hudson. There's a new Rex too.
There's a new Hudson. Yeah. No, wait, who's who?
Oh,
anyway,
yeah, Hudson's the guy. I think Rex would be a dog. Like Rex
is the dog.
Sounds like
yeah.
a dog. Yeah.
But the Hudson thing sounds really crappy,
Because
actually.
he had cancer.
Yeah, Johnny Reardon, who actually I did go to high school with. It all comes back to Halifax, Nova Scotia, baby.
That's a mind blow right there. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems really shitty.
Yeah, it seems shitty. And then the idea that, it's just a different Hudson and they just keep, I don't like, some super fan bought ad space to kind of raise some awareness with this. But it doesn't smell right to me.
No, same.
Okay, well, you mentioned Hudson and Rex, and I got all angry again. But your aspiring acting career kind of reminds me a little bit of the acting career of Biff Naked.
What was Biff in? Of course, Biff is good at everything.
Yeah, well, Biff is also a talented singer. Biff lives in Mimico now, and Biff is a neighbor of mine, sort of, and we bump into each other all the time. Love Biff Naked. There was a documentary on Super Channel. This ties back to Terry Hart, because when I went to the premiere at the Royal, maybe I'm trying to remember where that was. Terry Hart was like the MC because she does work with Super Channel.
Right.
So it all comes together here. But Biff would
world.
Yeah, she'd pop. She's sort of like you said. I did the Nikita. I did the Kung Fu. All these, Canadian, Hudson and Rex or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was kind of doing that same thing, like having these little acts. She was in a movie called The Boys with my buddy Stu Stone. But she, like you're a better singer than you are an actress. And I think, I hope Biff's not listening right now, but she's a better singer than she is an actress.
I'm sure she would be the first. I mean, that one is a craft she's honed, and one is probably a craft she hasn't really worked much on. So I don't think she would take that personally.
Yeah, and like I said, we can't all be kick ass at every freaking thing. That's like not fair here. Okay, so, and we're gonna get back to your singing in a minute, but I want to ask you about a different singer here, because I uncovered this audio, and I might brew it in the background here, because I believe this was tied to small town hockey as well, or like a hometown hockey thing, but let me play this. I called it small town hockey because you'll find out in a minute, but
I grew up in the small town, a hockey night in my hometown kind of place. There was really not much around. You blink and you miss it. I never knew what life would bring, but I always had big dreams. Early mornings down at the rink, and every night I'd wish that I'd get a shot at the big game. Here on MacLean, say my name. So I played hard and dreamed about the day I'd lift the Stanley Cup up high, 'cause that's where I come from. That's who I am. Hardworking and God blessed. Yes, sir, thank you, man. The best things around that I have ever seen came from small town.
I completely forgot about this.
okay. So the reason I keep playing it is because there's more of you coming up. Maybe I'll bring it down and I'll maybe bring it back up in a moment. But this is Paul Brandt.
I totally forgot I did this.
Well, you also conveniently forgot you were an aspiring actress, so I felt like we had to dig up some of this stuff.
So bad. Yeah.
Okay, so at some point I'll bring it up a bit because we'll hear some Tara Sloan, but I guess this was like a hometown hockey thing?
Yeah, I feel like it must have been he's a pretty philanthropic guy, so I feel like I don't remember the context of it. I remember I sang on it.
But you're on this song. Do you remember going to the studio and recording?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
It's called Small Towns and Big what? Big, I'll tell you, because it's
Big
cut
dreams.
off. Big dreams, right?
Dreams, yeah.
But it's at any point. I don't know why he waits, 2 minutes to bring in the Tara Sloan. I would have led.
I'm singing backing vocals.
Oh, you are in the background.
I'm all over it.
You're all over this, but you're more highlighted in a moment here. So I'm going to bring it up just for a moment.
Who you are, it's all a state of mind. And as I play with all my heart, I hope you find that's where I come from. That's who I am. Hardworking and God blessed. Yes, sir, and thank you, man. The best things around that I have ever seen. Well, just to look around to see just what I mean. The best things around that I have ever seen came from small town and big dreams.
I don't think I have a solo, do I?
That's where I come
I thought you did. Hold on, is it coming now?
That's who I am.
Well, you're definitely more prominent
That's
here.
where I come from. That's who I am.
And no solo for you.
That's where I come from. That's who I am. Hometown hockey.
Yeah, see. I mean, there was a shout out early to Ron MacLean, okay? So this feels like it was like a branded hometown hockey thing. But this could have kickstarted your country career.
Right. I honestly, first of all, it's a good song. It's actually a really good song. And the backing vocals sound really good.
Honestly, I wish they flipped it. Let him do the background and put you up front.
He's so talented. But,
okay, he's talented. I'm going to say this. Paul Brandt, who I've never met and I don't know, but he seems to be very talented. But he has been vocal lately about Alberta separating from Canada. And I'm here to say, especially with the threat we have from the President of the United States, the timing for such rhetoric is very poor.
Well, it is by design. Not specifically by him, but it is certainly by design from Alberta or the Danielle Smith and the like. So they know what they're doing in terms of, stoking the fire at this particular moment. And yes, I did see that, and it's disappointing. I guess I can imagine which side of the political pendulum Paul Brandt swings. So yeah, that part's a shame.
It's a damn shame, but that song is still very, very nice.
Again, killer backing vocals. No, I forgot. I totally. I can't. Where did you find it? I mean,
I have my sources, Tara.
That's
Please.
some deep.
You know, I'm now an award-winning. Since I saw you last, I'm an award-winning podcaster. Do you realize?
I am not surprised.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you very much. I still can't hold a note though. But have you recorded any other country song in your illustrious career, or is that the one and done?
Is that a trick question? Because are you going to play me something else that I've forgotten about?
Not a trick question.
I don't think so. I've been in a country music video.
Whose video?
I was in a video that the Road Hammers made called Zamboni. And in the video, I was driving the Zamboni, which was super fun.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, because sometimes, you guest on somebody's album or song and I forget about it, obviously. Country's not really my milieu so much, so I don't think I'm missing anything, but maybe you're going to tell me.
No, there's no trick here. No gotcha. There's no gotcha on Toronto Mic'd here. I was legit curious. I only had the one from Paul Brandt there. We just heard it, and I just wondered if that was a one and done for you in the country genre.
You know what? I mean, I think singing country music is really fun, and there's some country I really, really like. But for me to do country, it's so inauthentic. It's just not what I grew up listening to, and so I wouldn't move over to that genre.
My wife periodically starts just watching like episodes of Dragon's Den. Do you ever watch Dragon's Den?
Yeah, of course. My good friend Arlene Dickinson.
Oh, we're getting to her. See, that's why I win these awards. I'm the master of the segues. So.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's dangerous to watch. I find it dangerous for me personally to watch these episodes of Dragon's Den because they like to do these flashbacks where they tint the color a bit so you know it's like from the olden days, like 20, 15 years ago. And then you get to see somebody who pitched the dragons back, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. And you risk seeing the traitor known as Kevin O'Leary.
Oh, God.
So there's actually, and again, because we're going to get to Arlene, who is not a traitor. But Kevin O'Leary has been very vocal about Canada basically giving up its sovereignty and becoming a part of the United States in some fashion. And I fucking hate hearing that. And I hate that he says that, and he gets a lot of press for some reason. And there's actually a movie that's now currently nominated for a Best Picture Oscar, and it stars an actor I quite like named Timothée Chalamet, and I've been avoiding it because I understand this gentleman, Kevin O'Leary, is all over the damn thing.
Yeah, and you know what? I have not seen Marty Supreme. I like everybody else in it, and I'm not going to see it because I don't want to watch him.
Remember when Kevin Spacey was canceled and they refilmed that movie? I think it was Christopher Plummer they put in there, Toronto Boy. But anyway, can we get a version of Marty Supreme where they put somebody else in there?
Please. Yeah, no, he just got, I saw on social media today, I think it was Mark Ruffalo who wrote quite a scathing indictment about him.
You don't want to piss off the Hulk. That's dangerous.
No. And I mean, I think Mark Ruffalo is his moral compass is on so correctly. So
I agree. And it helps that he's also one hell of a good actor too.
Great actor. Nice person, it seems.
I think my mom has a crush on him.
Yeah, like everybody has a crush on him.
Take a number, right? Okay. So and just because I'm getting to Arlene, but I was also reading the other day, very popular Canadian pop star Tate McRae. Do you know Tate McRae?
Yeah, and I think I know where you're going to talk about.
Well, yeah, so she's done these ads for Team USA at the Olympics. And now I don't know her music very well, so this is easy for me to do, right? It's not like she's Neil Young where I worship the man's catalog. But like I'm putting Tate McRae in that Kevin O'Leary, Wayne Gretzky bucket of traitors. Are you comfortable with me doing that?
I am. This one I truly don't understand. I don't understand how anybody representing Team USA would be like, oh, let's put a Canadian in there. That makes no sense.
Except Americans don't know she's Canadian. Like, I think that's the big thing.
But yeah, and for her, I mean, it's so, ugh. So yeah, you can put her in that bucket.
Okay, so you share my yuck. Yeah, when Catherine O'Hara passed away, I noticed on online and social media Americans sort of assumed she was American.
Yep. Well, I don't want to risk
Oh
alienating
yeah.
people, but yeah, I mean, I think there is an assumption that a lot of things are American that aren't necessarily.
Well, I hear Sharks fans assume that you are a California girl.
They don't because our whole broadcast crew is Canadian, so they just appreciate us being there.
Oh, by the way, now that I just like this is all a tangential thing, but someone said this should be called tangential mic'd. But okay, so if Kevin O'Leary, Tate McRae, and Wayne Gretzky are in this bucket,
Yeah.
I got to put Bobby Orr in that bucket as well. And I now
Yes.
remember when Don Cherry, your former colleague, was fired by Rogers, 2019, I guess it was, that Bobby Orr went on the record to say that the firing of Don Cherry was disgraceful. That was the quote I remember from Bobby Orr. But I also took note yesterday that Don Cherry turned 92 years old yesterday, and because it was his birthday, many people online were saying it's outrageous that Don Cherry doesn't have the Order of Canada yet. So I'm here to ask you, former colleague of Don Cherry, do you think Don Cherry deserves the Order of Canada?
I mean, I think I'd have to look at what the stipulation is. If I made the rules, no, I don't. I mean, I'm going to further infuriate the throngs who already hate me, so it doesn't really matter. No, I don't think he espouses the Canadian values he thinks he does, because I think that as Canadians, we value inclusion and diverse perspectives and diversity of religion and thought. So I don't think so, but I would have to look at the Order of Canada rules. There are a lot of people who I am surprised have not been inducted into the Order of Canada or
But enough about Tara
appointed.
Slone.
Like I'm surprised Ron isn't.
Yeah, I don't think I realized he wasn't until right now. So
Yeah, no, he's not.
interesting. I feel no one cares how I feel about this, but I feel Don Cherry. I feel like he's disqualified from the Order of Canada due to the way he treated Quebecers. And I say this as a gentleman who has the legend that is Dave Hodge in his basement every single year, so Dave can tell me his 100 favorite songs of all time. We've been doing this for several years now, and we'll continue to do this for as long as Dave Hodge is breathing this earth's wonderful oxygen here. But he tells stories about, when he was, because he's the original, before Ron MacLean, it was Dave Hodge and Don Cherry. And Don would talk about Patty Roy. And Dave Hodge would basically calmly tell Don Cherry that his name is Patrick Waugh, and that's how he'll be referred to. And Don simply refused, like, no, it's Patty Roy. And then Dave would have to put his foot down and say, well, if we're doing this together, it'll be Patrick Waugh. So, but whereas Ron MacLean would let Don Cherry go nuts with that kind of thing.
Yeah. I have thoughts, but
well, you can share thoughts. Like nothing, like you said, you feel what you feel. You don't have any. You're not ashamed of any of your opinions on any of this, are you?
No, although I don't know. I don't think I've said. I mean, I'm sure Ron has his own. I don't know, kind of reckoning to do in terms of like how much he enabled with Don. And I'm sure that's something he does contemplate. And I understand that, his employment may have was for a long time contingent upon Don, and that dynamic worked, and actually the public liked it too. And so, there's lots of complicity in there. The CBC is complicit,
right,
for allowing this to happen for so long on our public broadcaster. So, I want to be careful because I do have a lot of love for Ron MacLean, and I haven't actually, I don't think this is something that he and I have spoken about. I mean, we've certainly spoken about Don, but yeah, I think he would have to kind of look deep inside and think, okay, well, like I let this happen.
Like he enabled it.
Yeah, he did.
I haven't see. It's been a long time since Ron's been in this basement, but I really hope he returns because I feel like we should have a little chat about this exact topic. And I will just say this because I read in the Toronto Sun, like somebody linked me to it in the Toronto Sun, that FOTM Lance Hornby was writing about the pen flip because Dave made some comments about he doesn't regret the pen flip. And I'm here to tell everybody I have talked to everybody involved in the pen flip, be it Ken Daniels, who was there, or Paul Romanuk, or of course Ron MacLean, who benefited greatly from this and was there, and of course Dave Hodge, etc. Even Peter Mansbridge. Okay, so I've had chats of all these people about the pen flip, and in the Toronto Mike archives, there is what I call a Mike-umentary on the pen flip. And it's all that stuff you read in the Sun and way more because I put in the work, Tara. That's why I won an award.
No, you're good, man. You are good. Thorough.
Fired up over here. But yeah, so much love to all of these people. And Don Cherry again. Maybe I'm complicit too because it was appointment viewing for me during the first intermission for many, many years.
Listen, for me too. But I think there was a certain point where many of us realized that, calling Alexei Ponikarovsky Pocahontas was simply not okay.
Right.
And
a lot of that. Okay, so we'll move on from the birthday boy, Don Cherry, 92 years young yesterday. I mentioned Dragon's Den because that was an hour ago, but I did mention Dragon's Den because I wanted to tell you I watched on YouTube. I watched you doing, I think you were doing yoga with wine. Please tell me. You did something with Arlene Dickinson. I don't know what you were doing, but you were like on the floor and you were just chatting.
Yes, it's for Arlene's YouTube series called Arlene is Alone, where she talks to people about their single and otherwise, but she talks about her, single life. And I was one of her early guests. And yes, for some reason we started with me showing her, I think, how to do a downward dog or something. And then she spilled wine on the carpet and that ended our yoga session. But it was a lot of fun and very open, honest.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. So I'm here to say I enjoyed it thoroughly because that's kind of what I like. That's what I'm looking for. I like it to be Canadian and I like it to be, I don't want it to be overproduced. Like I really am. We're doing it right now, actually. So I'm not going to edit a stitch of this because it's all gold as far as I'm concerned because it happened here. But I did enjoy hearing you chat about, because I won't name names. It's up to you what you want to disclose. It's your life. But you disclosed to Arlene Dickinson that you were in a long-term relationship that brought you to California in the first place, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm happy to name.
Hey, okay. Just because
honestly, you don't have to dig very far. The internet knows and retains.
We're not TMZ over here. We're TMDS. It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, I was in a relationship with a man named Dan Boyle, who's a retired NHL hockey player, Stanley Cup winner, and Olympic champion. And it didn't go the way one would hope a relationship goes. So we are no longer together. It's already been almost a few years, 2.5 years we broke up. And it was a tough one for me. It was a challenging relationship where I feel like I lost myself a little bit, and I feel like I was with a man who didn't honor me necessarily in the ways I deserved to be honored. So it, a few years of therapy later, it's I have a lot of different perspective on it than I did, but it for me, it was just a wake up call that like you can still be, pushing 50 and find yourself in situations you tell yourself you're never going to be in again. But then you do.
Well, so this relationship brings you to California, and then when this relationship ends, that's the impetus for you to return to Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, I did stay a little, I stayed a little bit longer and the Sharks really did want me to stay and we're going to do everything that they could to make that possible. So for me, it was really just the matter of my daughter and being close to her dad. But yeah, I mean, I don't regret, I have this amazing relationship with the Sharks organization, with NBC. I made great friends. It changed the trajectory of my life. And, so I'm grateful, and I'm grateful for the things that I've learned along the way.
Well, I've decided I am now TMZ. Okay, but I'm going to call it TMZ, okay? Because this is Canada.
TMZ. Yes, do it. Do
Okay.
it.
So you told Arlene that you talked about being single. Are you still single, Tara Sloan?
Yeah, I am. I am.
All right, big question coming up. And I only got this.
Say why?
No, I'm not gonna say. Well, no, we're gonna get into this. I think I want to know if you are on the. And again, I only know of these. I've actually
On
never.
the apps.
Yeah, I've never been on the apps because I had a long relationship. And then that ended, and very quickly I'm in another long relationship. Like, I missed the apps, okay? I'm not saying I missed it, like, oh, I wish I was on the apps. But can you tell me a little bit about what is it like to be Tara Sloan, the very beautiful and talented and very famous person on the apps?
Well, thank you. And I'm not very famous, but there's definitely
I think you're famous in Canada.
There's some recognition factor. So the first time I got on the apps was in California, which that was fine. Like nobody knew who I was there.
Right. Just another hottie in California.
Hardly. But yeah, here it's a bit weird. I was on Bumble for a while and most of the time had my setting on some kind of incognito. So people couldn't see me, but I could see them. But then if I kind of took that mode off, yeah, I mean, I don't mind if somebody knows who I am or knows my work, but it's more like, yeah, if they're a fan or I don't know. If somebody has too much hockey in their bio or photos, I'm out. It's a red flag for me.
Like you're looking for a guy who, as the great Gord Downie once said, doesn't give a fuck about hockey.
I mean, I do like talking about hockey. Right? Like I really do. It kind of ignites me. But yeah, it can't be too much. It can't be too much. And it's just, I don't need anybody digging for like, what's Ron really like in real life? Or can I meet him? Like,
isn't there, again, I feel I might go upstairs and break up with my wife just to get on the apps to see if I could match with you. Like, this is how curious I am. Okay. This might happen. So, okay. Aren't you, is there are your antennas up? Are you, I'm sure you are because you're a very careful, smart, savvy woman in 2026. But what about the guys like me who just get excited at the thought of having a coffee with, like a romantic, I'm not talking about, because we might go for coffee as friends, but like a romantic coffee with Tara Sloan. Like, do you have detectors for, they just are excited by having a date with the very, very, I think very attractive and talented Tara Sloan.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's weird for me too. I'm not on Bumble anymore. Now the one I'm on is Raya. I don't know. I don't know if you're
taking notes over here, Tara. How do you spell that?
Raya. And this one it's so stupid. You have to be accepted. So it's a lot of like people in the arts industries. And it sort of started as like a famous people app, but it's expanded much beyond that. But yes, there is some kind of level of exclusivity to it, but it's so silly because there's so few people in Toronto on it that like every day it sends me, lovely looking gentlemen who are in like Oslo and
oh wow,
and like Morocco. So probably not a good fit.
Do you still meet people the old-fashioned way, like the pre-app way?
I feel like I haven't. Like that's the thing is like, I have my Sharks life, and I'm certainly not meeting anybody there, and that way
because they'd probably be American.
It's that I just don't meet like I wouldn't. I don't know. I'm just in a kind of a silo. Like I do a game. It's my broadcaster colleagues, and then Sirius XM. Like I have a women's show. I mean, I meet a lot of great women. So and when I go out with friends, I'm going out to meet up with my girlfriends. I'm not like hanging out at the bar. So I don't go to like a ton of parties and gatherings, but I'm not opposed to meeting somebody organically.
Because there was an interesting exchange between you and who I hope is a future FOTM, because I would love to have Arlene Dickinson on this program. Like that's a woman I want on the program.
So great. Yeah.
Do you want to introduce us?
Yes, I would love to. She is a straight shooter. She's awesome. She'd be a great guest for you.
I like straight shooters. Okay.
Yeah.
But you were disclosing the fact that like almost like what's the definition of single? Like what is single? Because I think you and I are of the same mindset where single means you're available to see other people.
Okay.
Okay, so where
Yes.
I'm going with this is, so when you were with uh, Dan
Dan.
Boyle, yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's like Voldemort. You can't say his name or whatever. I was gonna like,
You shall
you shall
not
not
be
be named.
named.
Yeah, I was gonna do that, and then I thought, oh, like, don't make that bigger than it is. Whatever. But like you're now there's a like you're not seeing other people, therefore you are not single. But I'm guessing, you may be seeing multiple people right now, but no, you're not committed to like a monogamous relationship with any of them.
I'm not even really seeing anybody. Like there's some chats underway.
Hmm.
Um, but no, there hasn't really been any kind of, yeah, I think my stipulations are so different. Like what I need in my life. When I met my ex-husband, we were in our early 30s, and I think we were both in kind of looking for someone to make a baby with. Like we both had that kind of baby radar happening. And
Right.
now it's just like I have a career, I have a life, I have a dog, I have a cat, I have a daughter. I don't need anything other than a great freaking person, a companion. And so if there's no reason to not have exactly what I would be looking for.
If I
So it
may
makes it harder.
mansplain to you, Tara Sloan, what you're looking for, I believe. Okay, I think, and that's
Okay.
okay. And again, I'm not single, so I'm not trying to get a romantic coffee with you. I believe you're looking for laughter and joy. Like you want somebody with a great sense of humor.
Oh, 100%. That is critical.
And possibly when people talk about, valuable traits or desirable traits in whatever sex they're attracted to, whatever, like I feel we're undervaluing sense of humor. And I think people talk about, I don't know, like, kindness is important, and you want them to be attractive. I'm going to run down the list of attributes you look for in a partner or whatnot. But I think we're underappreciating the role of a sense of humor.
I totally agree. Yeah, I think it's really important. Really, really important. And to me, also, like, sense of humor is to me a good indication of intelligence. Like, they go hand in hand. So yes, smart, witty, funny. And I'll say this: like Dan and I would say we did not share the same values, and I that was a real lesson to me because I found myself sometimes having to make excuses or put things aside. And I think there's no reason for me not to be with somebody, with whom I can be unabashedly myself. And that is, a raging feminist. And, I'm very politically outspoken, and that's who I am. And I don't think I ever want to put that on the back burner ever again.
So last TMZ question for you, because it came up with Arlene.
Yeah.
Last one. It's a very easy one here, but like in these apps that I'm unfamiliar with, but I know of through reputation, do you need to set an age range?
Yes.
Would you
Yes.
disclose for the listenership, 52-year-old Tara Sloan, what is your age range?
I'd have to look, but I think I'm very hesitant to meet anybody whose number starts with a three. So I would say like sort of 40 to 60 is kind of I
Oh
can
yeah, that's a big range.
see. Yeah.
Just
I
making sure.
still, I mean, I still think I would maybe struggle a little bit with somebody in their early 40s, but I'm not opposed.
Okay, and I appreciate your candor here as we do like a dating segment. So watch out, Arlene. I'm taking over the dating chat here. I'm just naturally curious about all these things. Okay, so we're almost done here. You're doing amazing. Have you seen Heated
Thanks.
Rivalry?
Have I seen Heated Rivalry? Yes.
How many times have you seen Heated Rivalry?
I actually only watched it once. But I feel like I'm so well, I'll definitely watch it again. And I feel like I'm so immersed in
Right.
this the sort of the zeitgeist of it all. And I had the great privilege of interviewing Rachel Reed, the author of the Game Changers book series
Maritimer.
she's from Bedford, Nova Scotia. Yeah. So she was on my Sirius XM show.
That's cool. That's cool. So you enjoyed this series?
I very much enjoyed the series. Yeah.
It's very good. That's a homegrown success story right there. I feel that series needs more penis.
Like you want to see
Yeah,
the
like
penis
I'm
more?
just here. I'm here to say it, and I'm here to say
Too much butt, not enough
it's
penis.
it's too weird to watch so much sex with no genitalia.
I mean, I really think all the sex scenes were so artfully done. I don't know. I wasn't bothered by the lack of penis,
Oh, my tongue's kind of
frankly.
in my cheek here. Obviously, obviously that was an intentional. The blocking was so strategic. I noticed. Oh, every time
Yeah.
these guys, are in that position, one leg has to be up. We need some thigh blockage on the penis. But I'm here to say
Yeah.
that if there's another version of this that was made for HBO where there is penis.
You know what? I can only imagine the copycat porn versions that are going to be
Right.
made.
Okay. So
Can you imagine? Then you'll see the penis.
now it's warming up in here. So I'm gonna play a song I uncovered. I'm embarrassed to tell you I didn't hear it until this past week. And we had this. I will say we had the Tara Sloan visit to the basement scheduled for previous, and then you were busy, and we moved it to now. And then Mother Nature said go to Zoom, and that's where we are. Next time you'll be in the basement. But I heard a song for the first time that I might play and ask you about because I think it's a very good song. But I need to give a little love right now to recyclemyelectronics.ca because Tara, now that you're back living in Canada, if you have a closet or a drawer or a room full of old cables, old electronics, old devices, I don't want you throwing that in the garbage because those chemicals end up in our landfill. I want you to go to recyclemyelectronics.ca, put in your postal code, and find out where you can drop it off to be properly recycled. Do you understand?
I do actually, and I think that's an honorable message.
Speaking of honorable messages, for February, and notice I nail that R, the first R. Okay.
Mhm.
There's no
Yep.
February. If you buy heart-shaped pasta from Palma Pasta, proceeds from every single purchase is going to support Hospice Mississauga and the compassionate care that they provide in the community of Mississauga. It's like a beautiful, wonderful cause, and Palma Pasta has stepped up to help raise money by giving proceeds from every purchase of heart-shaped pasta in the month of February.
That's nice.
Beautiful, right?
Yeah.
It's Valentine's Day is coming up. So, hey, it's a good time to buy the heart-shaped pasta. Okay, so much love to Palma Pasta. We already shouted out Ridley Funeral Home. They have a great podcast called Life's Undertaking with Brad Jones. I highly recommend it. And, of course, we always give love on this program to Nick Iones. I'm actually recording with him in a few hours. He's got a great podcast called Building Toronto Skyline. It's from Fusion Corp and Nick, and he put up his hand and said, Mike, how do I sponsor this? How do I keep this Toronto Mike Real Talk going? And he became a sponsor, and I think that is totally radical. So thank you to Nick. Okay, and I was going to say this, but I thought, it'll sound like you're flirting with her, and I didn't say it, but I'm going to say it now, so it's a little removed. But when we were talking about the value of one having a sense of humor,
Yes.
I was going to say that I'm going to put my wonderful sense of humor on full display at the El Macombo on May 21st, and tickets are now available at eventbrite.ca. So you can actually buy a ticket to see me at the El Macombo. I think it's May 21st, and I may or may not be very funny, Tara.
Are you going to be doing stand-up?
It's not stand-up because I don't do stand-up, but I'm hoping it will be witty and insightful, and it'll be a performance. I'm crafting a performance that I hope will entertain and delight both people who buy tickets.
Well, that is very, I like that's a great tease, a great teaser for this.
Got it, yeah. Okay, and now I'm going to play a song I just discovered. Okay, so here we go. Listen.
secret. You turn me upside down. I don't know what to do when you're not around. I think I got a big condition when I'm secure. My prescription. You look good. You feel good. It's so good. Wish we could find a way to be together. My little secret. There's nothing better. Nothing turns me on like you do. Nothing comes together like we do. I'm so high, I just might lose my mind. Yeah! My little secret. You're my addiction. You're my medicine. You're my affliction. Real thing. You're my infection. My little secret. You're my injection.
All right, Hotshot, what am I listening to?
That's a banger. That is a song called My Little Secret from my solo album released in 2007 called Just Look Pretty and Sing.
And you did both very effectively, but I'm here to tell you that is absolutely a banger.
It is. Yeah, it sounds really good.
So I've been listening to it all week, and I don't know, I'm thinking about my life at that time, and I just had my second kid, so maybe I took my eye off the prize and I missed the Tara Sloan solo career.
No, I mean it didn't really. I mean it didn't hit. I had some video play, which was great. That song and a couple others. I had a video play on Much More Music at the time, and a little bit of radio play, but not much. It's a fickle business, and it was really disappointing actually because I was very and remain very very proud of that solo album. So. Yeah,
I was going to say, like, when before this gets released and you're listening to this, I don't know, there's a listening party or whatever, you're listening in the headphones, you must be thinking, like, I fucking rock.
Yeah, I did think I fucking rocked. And this was a really different process. I did this album with a guy named Jordan Zadarozny, who's best known from his project Blinker the Star. He's a genius, I think, producer, songwriter. And we recorded this over a number of years. I would go back and forth to his place in Pembroke, Ontario.
Hockey Town.
Yeah, big hockey town. And
so, that's their name, I think. It's like, that's Hockey Town, Ontario.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I should know this. So yeah, I'm really proud of that album. And yeah, it's pretty demoralizing when you make something that you think is so great and nobody buys it. But it's worth a listen, y'all.
And then 19 years later, you're going to be on some guy's podcast, and he's going to tell you that song fucking rocks, and he loves it, and it's all worthwhile.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and it's all available for download and streaming and all that crap still. So
yeah, that song, My Little Secret, and the video is fantastic. I told you I'm going to be on the apps later today, just to try to connect with this woman. But I wonder if there's another solo project in you. Like I know you're going to be doing some new Joydrop stuff, which is cool. You tease that off the top, and of course you're always doing like I'm going to hear you do Mystify or whatever Rockstar In Excess wants out of you. You're ready to rock. But like, is there a future solo project for Tara Sloan?
I mean, I think I want to concentrate on whatever these songs end up being, the stuff that Joydrop is doing. I mean, there's not really there's no differentiation for me. It's just, I get to write songs with people I love. But yeah, sure. I mean, I think I'm at a point where I'm realizing how much I miss music in my life and how much more I need to bring it in.
Well, we're all better off for it. Okay, maybe I'll get a Biff Naked Tara Sloan duet in the works. I could make that happen.
I would love that. I'm a huge fan of Biff.
Well, take a number.
Okay.
Heated rivalry, Biff versus Tara. Oh, I could sell that.
Man, actually, yeah.
You know what? Leave that with me, okay? Leave that with me. How was this? It's not as fun as being in person, but I feel like this is as good as it gets via Zoom.
It was still a ton of fun. So I'm really happy and thank you for making the overture to excuse me from doing the drive. I actually really appreciate that.
That was tough for me because I don't do that.
Oh.
But I don't. You can ask all the wonderful people who simply didn't get on this wonderful program, this award-winning program, because they wouldn't make the trek. Like, you'd have to be, if you lived in I don't know if you lived in Alberta or something, that's different. But so, Alfie Zappacosta, I let him do it via Zoom. But I actually woke up this morning. I feel like I'm doing the Sopranos theme now. Woke up this morning. Okay, so I got up this morning and I saw the snow, and then I read the 2 weather alerts from Environment Canada, and then I had this moment of let's make Tara Sloan's day and give her permission to zoom in. This one time, and then I know next time, which might be in the summer, one day I'll have a favor I'll ask of you.
No, I do appreciate it. And I live on the opposite side of the city, which is I might as well. It's that silly, that Toronto joke. Toronto's an hour from Toronto. Right. So anyway, it's better to not be on the roads right now. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of our 1,844th show. Go to torontomike.com for all your Toronto Mike needs. Follow Tara Sloan. I know you're on Instagram. Is there anywhere else you want people to go?
I really only post hockey stuff on Twitter, X, but if you're interested in shark stuff, go on X. But I would say Instagram's the sort of main platform right now.
You realize this episode we talked about San Jose Sharks and Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Because it's
very shark heavy.
It's Shark Week on Toronto Mike.
I like it.
Much love to all who made this possible. That's Great Lakes Brewery, Palma Pasta, Nick Ienes, RecycleMyElectronics.ca, and Ridley Funeral Home. Next week, I have everybody scheduled to visit me in the basement unless Mother Nature interferes, and that means Monday we have Sean Cullen. Sean Cullen returns. Tuesday, it's a reggae artist named Amoye. Wednesday, it's Dave Bedini, and then the debut of Simone Denny. Can't wait. See you all then.